Arsenal won, Brentford won. Yes, people, wife wear, and I just came back from the Emirates Stadium. I'm ready to record this match reaction, and to be honest, I'm not very happy. In fact, I'd go as far as saying I am quite worried. As always, let me know your thoughts on the match in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear it, especially you Arsenal fans. Do you still think we are going to win the Premier League? And if you're new around here and you love Arsenal and football related content, this is the place to be. Make sure you subscribe down below. I'm on road to 2,000 subscribers. Before I get on to Arsenal, because to be honest, I could talk about them for about 20 to 30 minutes. Let's just start with Brentford. I'm going to have a word on them. To be honest, they played great and they deserved at least a point. Fair play to them, man. I know they had an unbeaten streak going into this game. I think it was 7 or 9 games, something like that. And obviously, they were in a team hotel before. And they spoke to each other and they were like, we can't lose this unbeaten run at the Emirates. They all got on the team bus. They drove it to the Emirates. They drove through the car park, onto the pitch, and pulled the handbrake up. Now, I'm joking. But to be fair, they did defend really well. They parked the bus and played a low block. And we could not break them down. But fair play to Brentford. They stuck in there even when they went a goal down. And they got a point. Now let's move on to Arsenal. Now I've had a touch on the opposing team. Because to be honest, the rest of this video is going to be about Arsenal. I am worried. I am very, very worried at this team right now. You lot that have watched my match reactions throughout the season, so I've covered every single Arsenal match, you would know that I've been fairly positive. Even when we lost last week to Everton, I was like, you know what? It is what it is. New manager bounce. They were up for the fight. If we played them 2 weeks earlier, we would have absolutely walloped them. It's one of those games. I've been fairly positive. Even in the games we've won, we've lost, and we've drawn. But today, I am not going to be that way whatsoever. Because this has really worried me. It was a frustrating performance. I mean, I look at it. Before the World Cup, guys, yeah? We played 14 matches, 1-4 in the Premier League. We won 12, drew 1, and lost 1. Unbelievable form. Top tier form, I'd say. Since the World Cup, 7 matches in the Premier League. 1-4, drawn 2, and lost 1. So in 7 matches, we've already dropped points in more matches than we did before the World Cup when we played 14. It's not good enough. Everyone said post-World Cup would Arsenal be able to cope. And I think there's this fugazi going around that Arsenal have not fallen off. We've fallen off. I'm seeing it before my very eyes. We are not the same team that we were before the World Cup. And there's numerous factors that can contribute to that. But today, we weren't good enough, man. We could not break this team down. Our football was too slow. We didn't really look like scoring, to be honest. Brentford, if anything, looked more dangerous on the counter-attack. They had 2 clear-cut chances in the first half. They should have scored. But we couldn't, man. Everything was slow. It was sideways, predictable. Teams now have got the blueprint to beat Arsenal. Newcastle were the first team to do it. When we played them at the Emirates, they sat back, they played a low block, and we could not break them down. Brentford have done exactly the same thing, and we could not break them down either. I gave us a break against Newcastle because, to be fair, Newcastle defended really well, and they are a top-tier defensive team. If there's one thing they're good at, it's getting 0-0s. They get it on a daily. Brentford, I'm not letting this one slide, yeah? Brentford, they're good defensively, but they're not as good as Newcastle defensively. You should break down Brentford. We did eventually score through Trossard. Brilliant goal from him. Beautiful interchange between Odegaard and Saka. And I'm thinking, right, it's 1-0. I celebrated that goal so much. The whole stadium went crazy. Because I thought that was the big goal, man. We were knocking on the door and we eventually got it with Trossard. I thought their water's going to burst. The floodgates are going to open. We'll go through and win this game comfortably. But no, you scored and you can't hang on for 25 minutes, man. You took so long. This team's playing a low block the whole time, and we finally scored to make it 1-0, and then we let in a goal. I don't get it, man. Like, you've done all the hard work. They've been so good defensively. You finally score. All top teams in that position, they lock out the game. They say, you know what, it was a tough match. We finally scored. It took us an hour to do so. Now we just lock it off, maybe one more, or we just sit back and absorb it, and we take the 1-0 win, and we move on with the 3 points. But no, we concede. And we concede from a set piece, man. Pinball in the area, and it eventually falls to Toney, who heads it in. Ramsey, I don't know what he's doing. There's an absolute howler coming out for it. And then at that point, you're thinking it's 1-1. Now we've got 15 minutes to try and score, and we just couldn't do so. We didn't ever look like scoring that second goal, man. Everything was slow, laboured. We're missing a lot of pieces. And to be honest, yeah, our form right now is not very good. And I'm worried because, for me, this is the best chance we're going to have to win this Premier League title, man. The best chance we can get. No team is good. Liverpool stink. Chelsea stink. Man City are not amazing. And they've got their case with the UEFA and Premier League with the charges. Let's see what happens there. So they're not very good. Man United are dropping points for fun, really. Tottenham, of course, they got absolutely spanked today against Leicester City. They're not very good. No team is good. Like, this Premier League is set up for us to win this league. Like, all the teams are saying, Arsenal, here's your time, win this league. And we're not grabbing it with 2 hands, man. We lost to Everton. Now, I said in that Everton loss, I said, look, I'm not going to overreact. Let's see what happens to Brentford. We have to show bounce back ability. Because last season, yeah, when we lost the game, we followed up with lost or drop points. Yeah? We've seen it before. Brighton, we lose. Southampton, Crystal Palace first, and Brighton and Southampton. Lose to United. We go on to lose to Everton. Lose to Tottenham, we're going to lose to Newcastle. You can't drop points back to back. It's not good enough. We drop points, of course, to Everton on the weekend, and now next week we'll drop points again. It's 3 drop points in a row if you count the game against Man City. 1 goal scored in 3 matches. It is not good enough, man. Eddie Nketiah, look, I'm being completely honest with him, yeah? I've sung his praises, but his brother, as soon as Gabriel Jesus comes back in the team, he needs to start. And I know you lot can say, oh, it's just because you didn't win today. No, it's because I see what Eddie Nketiah brings, I see what Jesus brings, yeah? And Eddie Nketiah, he brings goals. I will not take that away from him. The brother does score goals and he does bring it. But all around the game, if I want a player that brings impact to the whole team, his link-up play, a presence up front, I want Gabriel Jesus. I've talked about Haaland at Man City. Haaland brings goals to Man City, but I genuinely believe he makes that Man City team worse because his link-up play and whole cohesion and fluidity in the front line is not there. It's not there one bit. Nketiah, he's not as bad as Haaland in terms of link-up play. Nketiah can link up, but he's not as good as Haaland in terms of goals. Jesus brings fluidity, man. Whenever teams played a low block against us before the World Cup, because make no mistake about it, it's not like Brentford and Newcastle was the first team to try and defend against us. Other teams did it before the World Cup. We had Jesus, Saka, Martinelli, and we broke them man down, man. It was too easy. Like, teams didn't even bother at the times because we just broke them down super easily, yeah? Since Nketiah's come in the team, teams have played a low block and they realise it's hard for us. Because Nketiah is a poacher. He's a fox in the box. He's a 6-yard goal scorer. And if you play a low block, you're not going to have a 6-yard goal scorer do much. Martinelli's got exponentially worse as well. I don't know what it is, but maybe it's because Jesus isn't in the team, his Brazilian brother. I don't know, but this brother could not play football. Trossard comes in and he scored basically instantly as soon as he came on the pitch. He was a threat. Zinchenko, I love this guy to pieces, man. But he needs to make an overlapping run. My brother, he's playing right wing, centre mid. He's doing everything other than overlap. Every position on the football pitch Zinchenko plays, but he will not run past Trossard or Martinelli once on the pitch. I do not get it, man. Even Ben White gasses out. Gasses out, man. By 60th minute, he doesn't make any more runs. Partey was alright today, I can't lie. In that middle. Odegaard, here and there. He needs to shoot a bit more incisive passes. He's meant to be the Ozil of the team, like to make that cutting pass through, but it won't really happen. If anything, it was Saka more doing that. But yeah, overall, man, it's disappointing. It's very, very disappointing to drop points here. We have to watch City play tomorrow, and who knows if they win. They probably should at home against Aston Villa, but it's just giving them the incentive, man. How many chances are we going to give these lot? How many? I don't get it. Like, I'm worried. This game here shows me that maybe we can't actually win this Premier League title. I'm going to remain positive and say that we still could, and we still probably should given our league position. But we're showing cracks, because teams that win the title win this game here. Not even the fact that if it finished 0-0, it would be a different argument. We went 1-0 up and we threw it away. That's what annoys me the most. At 1-0 up, if you win the Premier League, you lock up at 1-0 and you say, look, it was a tough game. We scored that 1 goal. We just lock it up and we walk out of here with 3 points. You do not concede after going 1-0 up if you're going to win the league. I'm sorry, you don't. And especially the manner in which we conceded. Pinball in the box, man. Set piece FC. I don't get it. Now, of course, Man City did lose this Brentford team and we got a point. And I guess the positives are that we did get a point. We didn't lose the game. And of course, Trossard scored his first goal for Arsenal as well. And people will say, oh, if you can't win the game, don't lose it. And I understand that argument. But I understand that argument if we're away at the Etihad or if we're at Anfield or if we're at Old Trafford. I get that argument of, oh, if you can't win the game, don't lose it. If you're at a tough game. Brothers, we're at the Emirates Stadium, man. I don't buy into this, if you can't win the game, don't lose it. We should be winning at the Emirates Stadium, especially against Brentford. I know they've gone 7, 8, 9 games unbeaten. I get it. But it's Brentford. We're Arsenal. We're at the Emirates. We're top of the table. We win this game, man. We win this game. And I can't take a point or a loss at all. We have to get 3 points. And we didn't. That's a fact of the matter. I think the ref also was poor. He did not clock onto their time wasting whatsoever. They were doing it from minute 1. Toney went down twice, bro. He took the mick. He went down once with injury. Then he went down again 2 minutes later. Added on 5 minutes. I think the ball was in play for like 2 minutes of that additional 5 minutes, to be completely honest. It was poor from start to finish, and I am disappointed. And we have to bounce back against Man City. To be honest, I think we should beat Man City. Before this game, I was confident we'd beat Man City. Because I think if we start the way we're playing, if Man City field the same team they played against Tottenham, we will win that game. Because I think our fast start will cause problems. But our form right now is dreadful. We need to pick these boys up because we've got a massive game in midweek against Man City. If we win that game, of course, it all turns around and it's back to happy days again. But if we got to lose that game, and I'm counting a draw is not good enough at the Emirates against Man City, I will be very, very worried. I cannot lie to you lot. Let's end with the player ratings. In goal, Aaron Ramsdale, 5 out of 10 to be honest. I think on the goal, he was horrendous. He's cost us back-to-back at the Emirates now, because even the Lisandro Martinez goal for Man United, he wasn't good enough. There, why are you running out to try and block the ball? I do not get it whatsoever, man. Either way, Brentford scored to make it 1-1 with that attack. Right back, Ben White, I thought he was alright, but he gassed out early again. 6 out of 10. I thought Saliba and Gabriel, the centre-backs, were overall quite decent, actually. I'll give him a 7. Toney caused a handful, though, I can't lie. And these are... I think Saliba was up with the fight for a bit, and I think they got better as the game went on. But in that first half, it was a bit dodgy, I can't lie. But Toney was solid against them. Left back Zinchenko, 6 out of 10 for me. He finds pockets in the middle of the pitch, but he doesn't do enough, man. Like, against big teams, I understand Zinchenko 100% because he provides that control. He's an extra midfielder. But I'm sorry, when you're trying to break down a team, you need overlapping fullbacks. How do we score a goal? From an overlapping run from Saka 1-2 with Odegaard on the byline, across goal, and Trossard tucks it in. Zinchenko never went past Martinelli or Trossard once, man. It was literally isolation play. We get the ball in the wing and we just pass it backwards or inside. That would be it every time I was saying play, man. So Zinchenko, not good enough for me in his performance. I'll give him a 6 or a 5, 1 or 2. I don't really care. To be honest. Partey, CDM. I thought Partey actually had a decent game, so he was breaking up play. Partey's job, he did it. In transitions, he broke up the play, to be honest. 6 out of 10. He now needs to give it to the danger men, the Odegaards, the Sakas, and let them do something with it. And they didn't. So Partey, for me, did his job. Xhaka next door. I thought Xhaka was kind of anonymous today. I didn't really remember him in the game too much, to be completely honest with you. I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. Odegaard. In there, I need more from you, man. I need more from you, Odegaard. You're our guy, man. You're the cam, you're the attacker, you're the artist, you're the maestro. You didn't show it today. You didn't shoot. Times when we were going through and your pass was poor. I needed more from the man. Completely honest, I needed more from him. Odegaard, for me, because of the type of player he is, and he's been one of the best players this season, and this game he severely underperformed, I had to give him a 5 out of 10. Saka, I'm going to give a 6 to. One of our better players. Dangerous when he picked up the ball. They were hacking at him differently. He was trying to create chances. He was winning the ball back even off them. He was doing really well, Saka, for me, just not enough. Martinelli, 4 out of 10. This brother was poor today, man. His poor run of form continues. For me, Trossard needs to come into the starting 11. I think he will against Man City. I think he'll play Trossard instead of Martinelli. And I think that's the right decision because Martinelli, people are saying playing through the form, and I get that. You should give him the confidence to play through it. But we're in a title race. We could not afford that right now, man. Trossard came on and scored and looked kind of dangerous. So for me, Trossard should start instead of Martinelli. Martinelli, 4 out of 10. Trossard, I'll give a 6 to because he did score a goal. Nice back post run and tucked it in. And then Keita, from not enough this game, 5 out of 10. We need Jesus back. If Jesus is back, I'm starting that, brother. I'm sorry. Big up to Nketiah for his goals. But yeah, we need more presence up front. But overall, Arsenal do drop points. It is 1-1 against Brentford. And as I said, I am worried, man. It's probably one of the only times I've actually had a rant on this channel this season. Because overall, I've been fairly positive. But this was not good enough. It was frustrating for me from start to finish. We did not do enough to break them down. And honestly, this is the first time I've really been worried this season that we could actually let this title slip away from us. As always, let me know your thoughts on the match in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear it, especially you Arsenal fans. Do you think we're going to bottle this title, or do you still think we'll be alright? And what's your thoughts ahead of the match against Man City, the massive match on Wednesday? I'm looking forward to it. As always, if you're new around and you love Arsenal football related content, this is the place to be. Make sure you subscribe down below. I'm road to 2,000 subscribers. I'll be Ivan Toney. Hope to see you all in my next video.